168 Republican Party muckety-mucks are meeting in California tomorrow to elect a new chair of the RNC, and everybody's talking about the tighter-than-expected race between incumbent Ronna McDaniel and Harmeet Dillon. But there's a third prominent candidate who doesn't get the same media treatment. Who do Republican voters want? Now, first let me say, the Republican voters are much less happy with their leaders than Democrats. When we asked if they want new leaders, 62 to 27% Republicans said they wanted to ditch Mitch, and only 46% of Republicans wanted to keep Kevin McCarthy. Other pollsters have been asking about voter preferences for the upcoming RNC vote, but they curiously always leave out one name: MyPillow founder and CEO Mike Lindell. And guess what? He wins a three-way matchup. Here's the question. Attorney Harmeet Dillon and businessman Mike Lindell are challenging Ronna McDaniel to become chair of the Republican National Committee. Who do you support for the RNC chair? Here are the overall numbers showing most voters are either not sure or don't want any of the listed candidates, as you'd expect. And Harmeet Dillon has a slight edge on Mike Lindell. But here are the Republican numbers. Mike Lindell wins 30% of the vote, Harmeet Dillon wins 20%, and Ronna McDaniel, the existing four-term chair, ties somebody else with 15% of the vote. Now, your average Republican voter may not know much about any of these candidates or their chances, and Mike Lindell might be benefiting from name recognition here, but you have to acknowledge that the Republican Party has done somewhat well with big name recognition outsiders who've earned the public's trust. I think trust is probably a pretty big underlying issue motivating Republican voters' distaste for their leaders. Let's not forget, for instance, Mitt Romney's prominent vote to impeach a president of his own party. One who, quite frankly, earned many more Republican votes than him, and one who probably earned the votes of many of Romney's own voting base. Now, Mike Lindell winning the largest share of Republican support for the RNC race is a pretty big headline, but this one should be too. Republican voters have much less faith in the RNC than Democrats have in the DNC. In terms of helping elect candidates for their party, which has been more effective in recent years, the Democrat National Committee or the Republican National Committee? Or have the DNC and RNC been about equally effective? Now, these results are for all voters. By a 2-to-1 margin, voters think the DNC is most effective at getting candidates elected. But surprisingly, 27% say they're about equal and 13% are not sure. Younger voters put the party machines much closer, though Democrats still have the edge. Now, here's party. Democrats have incredible faith in their party. By over a 7-to-1 margin, they think it beats the opposition. Only 8% of Democrats think the Republicans are better at winning. But 26% of Republicans think the DNC is more effective, and only 43% of them say their own party. Independents say the DNC is more effective by a 3-to-1 margin. Here are Biden approval numbers, though, and the signal is even more pronounced. 68% of Biden's strong approvers say the DNC is the winner, which is like 13 times more than those who say the RNC. But among Biden's strongly disapprove, the parties are only at parity. But look at somewhat disapprove. They think the RNC is more effective. That's pretty strange. But there are less Biden somewhat disapproves than any other category, so maybe it's just noise. Now, we also ran Ronna McDaniel favorability numbers, and here they are. Not exactly glowing, but a lot of people don't know who she is. But here are her numbers among Republicans. She is more unknown than either Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy, with a 22% not sure, compared to their 9% and 13% respectively. But here are their Republican favorability numbers corrected by removing not sures. Kevin McCarthy has the best numbers with the 63% favorability, but only 19% very favorable. Only 37% of Republicans have an unfavorable opinion of him. In his defense, this is in November, not after he took the speaker gavel, and not after that incredible rebuke of Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. Mitch McConnell has the lowest numbers, with only 37% of Republicans giving him a favorable rating and only 6% of very favorable. That's actually lower than Pelosi's very favorable number among Republicans. And again, this is November, but I can't think of anything he's done since then to actually raise these numbers. Ronna is exactly between them. So will she be above the bar or below the bar tomorrow? Who knows, but I do know that she's only wanted by 15% of Republican voters. Perhaps the 168 voting members should hear about that between now and tomorrow. If you support someone other than Ronna McDaniel for RNC chair, then you can do the following. Like this video so more people see it, click share, copy the link, and tweet it to every Republican official you can think of. Or not. We're independent, so we don't have a dog in this hunt. That's how you know you can trust our reporting on American public opinion. Thanks for watching.